Positive thinking doesn't work until you get rid of your negative thoughts. I don't think people seem to understand the point of positive thinking. You see, the way we create our reality is in a very predictable process. It all begins with identity, unconscious identity, and our conscious identity. These are the things that produce our thoughts. Our unconscious identity produces automatic thoughts, and our conscious identity reacts to those thoughts. Our thoughts then produce emotional states. The nature of the emotion will be similar to the nature of the thought. Our emotions then drive us to take action. Our actions then create consequences in the world, and then we reflect upon those consequences. And so each chain in this creation cycle affects the next one, the next link. And so you see, if you're trying to think positively, it can make you feel better. But if you have fundamentally a negative self-identity, you will keep producing negative thoughts all the time. And it will be too much effort to try and always replace a negative thought with a positive affirmation. And so you'll feel like you're constantly at war with yourself. And this will drain your energy. The less energy you have, the less power you have to do anything, to change, to deal with the problem. So positive thinking doesn't make sense until you address the root of the problem. Once the frequency of negative thoughts has diminished and you have overcame them, now you can start interjecting positive thinking into your daily life, daily practice, in the morning, at night, during meditation, all the time. It's better to sprinkle positive affirmations all the time. But you see, so long as there are negative thoughts going on, you're always going to be fighting that battle. There's always going to be something pulling you down and grabbing your attention. And so you really can't even do anything else. This is something that deserves your entire attention, all of your focus. Because if you are constantly dealing with negative thoughts, it doesn't matter what you do in life, you are always going to be hindered. You will never be at your best because there's this parasite stealing all of your energy. And the moment you can just solve the problem, become free from negative thoughts, then you never have to worry about it again. But a lot of people kind of just try and ignore it, ignore the problem, think it's going to go away, or just bulldoze their way through life and say, "Oh, I'm just going to deal with it, that's just the way it is." But it's absolutely unacceptable to live this way. Because again, so long as there is this great negativity in your life, it will color your thoughts, your emotions, your identity, your actions, and you will paint a negative life for yourself. And so what needs to be done is that we have to address the identity that is producing these negative thoughts. Contrary to popular belief, thoughts actually come from our body, these automatic thoughts. And the mind is what judges them and reacts to them, creates a story about them. And so if you are experiencing repeated negative patterns, like in a dream, you can interpret the symbolism, the patterns, and in that will reveal to you the answers to why they are there. The nature of your thoughts will be your guide. If you're having repeated negative thoughts, there is a red flag going on. There's an alarm. Your body is trying to alert you that there is a problem, that there is an inherent error with something about your identity, your psychology. It's not necessarily that you've done anything wrong. It's just that we get conditioned and traumatized, and parts of ourselves get stuck in the past. And unless we go back and retrieve those parts of ourselves and become whole, then we'll always be in this kind of state of lack. And some people are more traumatized than others. And so the first place you always want to look, and which is pretty much the source of many of our problems, that is the instincts. If you have a maladapted instinct, let's say survival or sex, this will manifest in repeated patterns. So for instance, if you have repeated negative patterns about sex, then it is likely that at some point in your life you were traumatized and the sexual instinct became maladapted. And so now this is what has to be healed. This energy has to be directed in a healthy way. Maybe your negative thoughts are about fear. And so growing up you might have felt unsafe. And so your body believes you are living a certain kind of reality. But the body is blind, so it doesn't know exactly what is going on. All it can interpret is the emotions that you feel and the patterns that are associated with those emotions. So you have to tell the body that you are not in danger by having different emotional states. You have to change the unconscious identity by feeling different things and attaching those feelings with the right patterns or experiences. So if your body is feeling unsafe and producing strong negative thoughts, you have to find a way to tell your body that it is safe. Fundamentally, it's about embarking on a journey of self-discovery, becoming aware of why you do the things you do. Why are these thoughts arising? Where have I been traumatized and where do I need to be healed? The moment you create a positive self-identity, the positive thoughts will arise naturally. You will naturally be grateful. You will naturally be happy and peaceful. But first we have to tell the body that there is nothing to be afraid of, that there is no danger. Because each time you have fear associated to a negative thought, you put your body in fight or flight. And this continues to drain your energy. The thoughts steal your energy and the thoughts get more powerful. And you get weaker. And you dive deeper and deeper into this kind of slave relationship with the mind. And so one of the first steps of taking your power back is reframing the situation to realize that your body is trying to help you. It's just doing it in a bad way, kind of. It's trying to help you become aware of a problem. I like to think of it as if you were walking down a path and you saw this big hulking monster running towards you, and you saw it running at you as fast as it could, and it was yelling and it was screaming and it was looking right at you, right in your eyes. And as it ran closer, you could see it's Frankenstein. Your heart's now pumping really fast and you're getting ready to fight or run away. So you have two choices. You can either punch him in the face or you can run and hide. But both these actions are futile because he is trying to alert you that your house is on fire. And so you see, the body is communicating with you the best way it can. We have to begin listening. We have to, in a sense, neutralize the negativity and be more objective about it. To ask ourselves, what is the message here? What is my body trying to tell me? And so you see, the problem comes not from the thoughts themselves, but because we are reacting with fear. It is our own reaction with fear that is what's draining us of our energy. The thoughts are just thoughts, but we give meaning to the thoughts. And so it's of critical importance to first neutralize these thoughts before necessarily trying to add positive ones to replace them. Because through neutralizing our thoughts, this takes no effort. We're not at war with ourselves. We're not losing energy. We're just neutralizing the negativity and allowing things to arise as they do. And this skill is practiced just like any other skill, any other habit. So you want to take the time whenever you feel free, in the morning and night, perhaps whenever you're having excess amount of negative thoughts, to sit alone with yourself and just observe. Just observe your thoughts and see if you can allow them to arise without reacting to them. And eventually you will develop this skill and become better at it. And so what happens is that you, as the observer, can create space between yourself and the thoughts and your mind. But you see, when we have a strong identity, strong attachments, when we react to the mind, We become one with the mind, and that is why we suffer. We get caught in the mind storm. And all of the negativity that the thoughts bring, we experience. But the moment you create separation, this separation protects you from the negativity of the thoughts. And so you no longer suffer them as you once did. Because fundamentally, you cannot deal with the problem if your energy is always being drained from you. Because you have no power. You have no ability to change. That is why we must first neutralize the negativity in order to retain our power. We gain clarity, and now we can see, oh, this is why I'm doing this, or this is why I'm feeling this way. And this is why I'm engaging in this self-destructive behavior that is causing these negative thoughts. Because most of the time, that is what it is. We are engaging in some actions that are triggering us. Or we are stuck in this story in our mind that we continue to reinforce. We give it our power, we give it our energy, we give it our life. So it becomes more powerful, it becomes bigger, and we become smaller. And so the moment you reverse this balance, you retain your energy, you become more powerful, and the story becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And through practice, you become so large that the negative thoughts that were once like getting stabbed in the stomach are now nothing more than like flies buzzing around you that you can just shoo away. The moment you have gained power, now you can compound your success by adding positive thoughts. And the best way to do this is first thing in the morning, just train your body or train your mind to repeat positive affirmations. Because in a low theta brainwave state, that is when we are closest to our unconscious. And so we can reprogram our unconscious identity to be positive. When you're in the waking state, your brain waves have risen in frequency from theta to alpha to beta. And so as you rise higher, there becomes a strong sense of separation from your unconscious. That is why saying positive affirmations in the mirror doesn't always work. Because they're just words, they don't mean anything. It's about the feeling, it's about the emotion. You have to speak the language of the body in order to communicate with it. But you see, the difference is saying positive affirmations in a low theta state. The bridge between the unconscious and the conscious has been merged. The gates have been opened. So you can directly plant seeds and information without necessarily needing a strong emotion about it. The moment you develop a strong sense of positive self-identity, you will begin having more positive thoughts. You will begin having more positive emotions. Your thoughts and your emotions will influence you to take positive actions, and you will see your world change to be more positive.